Hello. So yeah, it's been a pretty hot minute since I last made a video, and I'm not apologizing for it because the truth is I have had a lot of stuff going on in my life over the past several months. Honestly, it kind of started with me getting a new computer, which was kind of backwards in a sense, because for so long I had been saying to myself, yes, when I get a new computer, I'm going to get some fancy new video editing software and I'm going to make you guys some fancy videos with my fancy computer on my fancy software. And it just never happened, because the more that I started looking into fancy software, the more I realized that this stuff is kind of more pricey than I am willing to spend, which is kind of funny given what this video is mainly about. But yeah, I've had a lot of stuff going on and I'm kind of hoping that things are going to start settling down soon, and I've just missed making videos. It's a good outlet for me, you know, when I'm stressed I like to make a video or something like that. So I'm making a video now. I will be doing an update video after this video, but for now I'm just saying hello because I want to do a little bit of an unboxing. I recently bought the Viseart Neutral Matte eyeshadow palette. So I had purchased this palette right when it was released. I guess that was around like last month, and I love it. Okay, I really do love it. I think that the quality of the shadows are amazing. If you can't tell what this is, by the way, it's the Kat Von D Shade and Light for Eye palette. And I do love it. And I know that people talk about that, and I've seen a few people mention that the shades in this are very similar to the Viseart. I mean, obviously that doesn't matter really to me because I'm colorblind and I can't really see what they are in the first place. But I love this palette. The problem that I'm finding is that, and now I don't often mention my actual age, okay? I don't often mention it because I know I look younger than I really am, so I just kind of go with that. But I am 30. I just turned 30 in January, and I am finding that some shadows, particularly matte shadows, aren't blending too well on my eyelids. And now I've always had kind of crepey eyelids. I do have hooded eyelids. That's been that way my entire life. But I'm finding that particularly on this eye, in the outer corner, I'm finding it really, really hard to blend eyeshadows. And I don't know if that has to do with just the way my eyelids are, or if it has to do with the shadows that I am using. So, like I said, I do own this palette, and I do really, really love it. But people have been talking about the Viseart for months now about how it is really, really great for, let's say, aging eyelids. And I thought it might be a good investment to make. And here is the little box. Oh my god. I am way too excited about this. Okay. Observation 1, it doesn't like to come out of the box. Hold on, maybe I should open it from the other end. Okay, much easier from the other end. I don't know what that's about. Okay, so here it is in all of its glory. I'm a little excited here. Okay, this is I'm like really excited. I don't even want to touch it. Okay, so right off the bat, let me just say, okay, well, first of all, that's a swatch of one of them, very nicely pigmented. Okay, there it is. By the way, the Marc Jacobs eyeliners, insane. They do not budge ever. But so the pigmentation on that, if you can see that, is really good. Like, that is really, really impressive. I'm very, and it's still some on my fingers, so that's, you know, that's something, certainly. I will say that the texture of these shadows aren't the most silky, soft eyeshadows in the world. I kind of, for some reason, I expected them to be softer, and I don't know why I had that in my mind, because that's not really how eyeshadow or matte eyeshadows are formulated in the first place. I know that some people have touched these and they're like, oh, well, they're not as soft as the Lorac shadows, but to be totally honest with you, the Lorac matte eyeshadows, as decent as I think that they are, I think they're too soft, and I don't find that they blend very well on me. I mean, I can make them work, but they don't function as well as I feel like they should. But these are so densely packed, and they are so like crazy pigmented. Oh my lord. Wow. Oh my god, this one's really nice. Like, look at that. That's beautiful. Oh my god, like they just glide on so nicely. Like there is no patchiness. There's no, you know, when you go to swatch an eyeshadow, and even though it might be like pigmented on the first swipe, but then it kind of like drags a little bit and the pigmentation kind of like becomes like really faded and patchy. And I mean, that's not honestly the biggest deal in the world, but these don't have any of that at all. Oh, okay, let's check that out. Look at that. And let's, oh man, look at that. So what I had intended on doing in this video was kind of giving you guys a demonstration, but I don't know how well that's gonna work for me because I can't see very well with this light. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a really simple eye look off camera and then come back and give you guys my first impressions on that. So I will be back. Okay, I've returned and I've done some eye makeup, which I'm not sure how well it's showing up because the light is kind of bright, but I don't know. On this eye I used primer, on this eye I didn't, because I do have pretty oily eyelids, and I do find that with most eyeshadows I need a primer in order for my eyeshadows to even apply decently. First observation that I made was that, as per usual, the eyeshadows did pop a little more when put over the primer, but they applied pretty much the same, aside from the, you know, effect with the vibrancy. This eye, I feel, turned out a little more, especially the base shade that I used. I used this one as a base shade, and I feel like it pops a little more on this eye than on this eye. I mean, that might just be me, but that's what I observed. I used this one along my lower lash line and in my crease, and then I used this one in the outer V portion of my eye, and this one I just kind of smudged along the outer half of my upper lash line just to give it a little bit of definition. I've been really into using eyeshadows as eyeliners lately, so I wanted to see how that worked. That black shade I felt maybe wasn't the most black for a liner, in my opinion. I prefer a really bold black line. Maybe wetting it might do what I like a liner to do, but I can see that that would be really good to just add some more depth to, you know, in the outer V or whatever you would do. Everything else about it though was just, it was like eyeshadow magic. It was so nice. I will see how long the shadows wear for, you know, with primer versus without, but I mean, honestly, I always wear shadows with a primer anyway. I just did this more as like an application experiment for myself, but I'm just gonna end this here and I will talk to you guys later. Ta-ta.